Go ahead.
Welcome into a Monday edition of Press Box Live, otherwise known as the Baseball Chat. I'm Stan the Fan Charles of Press Box, PressBoxOnline.com. The guy bobbing up and down is Luke Jackson, the managing editor of Press
I'm
Box
here.
and PressBoxOnline.com. Okay,
Fresh
you're
from
here.
Constance
He's
Inn.
shaky today. He's a little shaky.
And with us now is the man who's going to tell us that he taught Craig Albernaz everything he knows about baseball. That's the old left-hander, Ross Grimsley. Ross, we got a World Series to talk about, but in Baltimore, what takes precedent is the Orioles have their new manager, Craig Albernaz. Do you know a thing about him?
Not other than I checked with some friends about him and didn't have a whole lot, just some basic stuff. But he's been with Tampa Bay as a player, played mostly, a lot of Double A, Triple A. He's coached, been a hitting coach, been a bench coach the last couple of years, last 3 years with Cleveland, and was a coordinator. So he's he's put some time in. Supposedly, he's a good communicator. Very confident guy.
He's been with Cleveland 2 years. He came with vote, and he was the bench coach year one. This year he was something. Luke wasn't the associate
manager. I think essentially he was the bench coach again.
Right.
Same
Okay.
as bench coach.
Yeah.
I don't know where they assistant manager.
He was the AM, the associate.
That's a
manager.
new one. That's a new one for me. Yeah.
That's a new one.
But he's he's got the credentials, and everybody seems to like him. And from what I've read, he's a mix of the old school and new school, analytically knowledgeable. So he should fit right in with the Orioles. I mean, the Tampa Bay and Cleveland did similar things, but the old school thing is big, I think, and the fact that he was a catching instructor,
right?
That should be a help to Rushman and the other
Basayo.
catchers.
And
yes,
Basayo,
absolutely. Yeah.
Luke, you and I immediately went to his sort of resume, Baseball Reference, and noted that he played a little bit in the minor leagues in the Rays organization with Stephen Vogt.
Yeah.
And then the two of them worked together in San Francisco, Vogt as a player and Albernaz as a bullpen coach. I believe it was under Gabe Kapler in the 19 season. And then 3-4 years later, Vogt gets the managing job in Cleveland, and he brings this guy who is a self-described, or Vogt describes him as pretty much his best friend in the game, and he's his bench coach and then the AM. It sounds like the AM was a way to get him another $50,000.
Yeah, that's exactly what it sounds like. You know what? This isn't a bad thing, but it seemed like his resume was very similar to Brandon Hyde's resume at the time that Brandon was hired 7 or 8 years ago. Brandon was a minor league catcher, never quite made it to the big leagues. Same thing with this guy, minor league catcher. This guy has filled a variety of roles as a coach and a manager in the minor leagues and in the major leagues. That was the same thing with Brandon. It seems like this guy might be a little different personality than Brandon. The one thing that jumps right off the page, so to speak, in his interviews is that Boston accent for this guy is thick. I mean, he sounds like
you think he's connected.
He sounds like he could have been in The Town or The Departed. It is, Pat Scarry with Towson men's basketball has a thick Boston accent.
Yeah.
This guy has a thicker Boston accent.
And
does he need an interpreter?
I don't think he needs an interpreter, but I'm not positive.
I read a story. I read a story where he was going to give I think in spring training or something. He was going to give a speech to the players, and they had a guy who was an interpreter for him when he got up to speak.
That's funny. That's funny.
But when I saw that he is from Massachusetts, I said, "Did Dan Duquette hire this guy?"
Yeah. I wonder if Dan knows him at all.
Probably. Dan knows all the baseball folks.
Yeah.
Massachusetts area. Yeah.
Question. I'll start with Luke on this. We're going to learn something right away on what happens with the coaching staff.
Right.
What's your gut feeling? Does he get Does he get two or three coaches or all of his coaches?
My gut feeling would be that it's a, Ross, say it with me, collaborative effort,
Yes.
which means which means we compromised and Mike got his way. That's what that
Right.
means. But
You
yeah,
get this guy, that guy, and that guy.
I imagine that he'll bring in his own bench coach, things like that. He'll probably get two or three coaches that he'll bring along with him, I would think, and then the rest will be a collaborative effort, Stan.
Yes.
Do
Yeah.
you guess that French will be back, Ross? Do you think French will be back?
But it's hard to say. I mean, with all the injuries, I mean, that's really
Well, he's got the
that.
previous relationship with Elias, from
Yeah.
Houston.
But then again, he might give the manager his choice of a pitching coach and so on and so forth. So yeah,
How
it'll be
about
interesting to see.
how about the so on and so forth being like one hitting coach, maybe
You know what?
one assistant, but do
I
they
think
need
that would
three
be
hitting coaches?
no. You don't need two.
Right,
Unless one guy is just a thrower,
right,
a batting
right.
practice guy, and same with hitting. You get too many roosters in the hen house, you got a problem.
Well, I heard that they need a left-handed batting practice thrower. So I'm just saying Ross Grimsley might get a go. Oh no, he's shaking his head. He says, nope, I'm
No,
retired.
that ship has sailed, my
All
friend.
right.
Big
All
no.
right. Now let me ask you this, Ross. I imagine that most coaches around the game are on 1 year deals, right?
Yes,
Okay.
usually.
So all of the coaches on the Orioles major league staff this past year, at this point, have been free to find other work for a while now, right?
Right.
I would think, yeah.
Okay. All right.
When that happens, Ross, do they ask the GM sort of, "Hey, be straight with me. Do you think I should be looking?" You know,
They'll tell you.
yeah, yeah,
They'll definitely tell you.
yeah,
If I
yeah.
was you,
Go. You ought to
I would.
look. You ought to look.
No.
It's like when we were talking about Tony Manzolino and his chances for the full-time job. And I said, well, how does that meeting go with Mike? And if Mike says, yeah, we like you, but we're going to talk to other people, I think that's a pretty good
Yeah.
sign to start looking for other work.
I think
Right there.
you want to know usually at the end of the season. The sooner the better because
Right.
Right.
these jobs fill up in a hurry.
Yes, they
Next
do.
thing you know, you're outside looking in, and there's nothing there for you anywhere. So that
Right.
makes it really tough. And a good general manager, a farm director, will let you know ahead of time that it's probably best to even at the like a General Elias, it'd be best to tell the guy, hey guys, don't if I was you, I would put out
Start
feelers
looking
or talk to
around.
whoever.
Yeah,
Been there, done it.
yeah. Question. I know this isn't pertinent to the Orioles situation. We've watched three hires so far, right?
Mhm. Yep.
Got a guy from college, a first-time manager in Suzuki, and a first-time
And we're
manager.
not counting Schumacher.
No, I'm not
Yep.
counting
Yeah.
Schumacher. Right. He was a setup and
Yeah.
he was deserved of another chance. There's a guy like Buck Showalter.
Mhm.
He's in it's probably 66, 67 now. Is he done now, Ross?
I think so. I don't think they want to go that route with older, even experienced and successful guys. They don't
Yeah.
want that for
Yeah.
whatever reason. It makes no sense to me or a lot of people, but no, they would rather go with the younger guys, first year guys that's never managed, which I don't understand, but you got a little more control and say so about who's on the field, who hits where, who pitches, who does this and that, that's the way it's done now.
Now, I don't know how much Hyde was interviewed around. We
Mhm.
heard his name when Elias was looking. This guy apparently was a runner-up sort of in Cleveland. He was seriously thought of for the Cleveland job when they hired folks. And he supposedly the Nationals talked to him last week. Does this guy come in with a little more clout than Hyde had? Or are these guys first time around, Ross, so desirous of getting the job that they sort of give up the leverage that they might have?
How would that and the price tag?
Yeah,
I mean, it's which is good for the Orioles because they got a chance that not that any money they give the guy is going to make a difference.
Right.
but they pay them and then save the money and go out and get free agents or whoever. So yeah, I mean they do. They do to. I mean that's one of the big things in this day and age. They can hire 14 coaches because they're not going to pay them squat. Number one, and that's and you can get a guy out of
Is there
college.
a minimum salary for the coaches from the
No,
club? Now I know they
no.
get like about 150 to $200,000 from the merchandise that's sold. All the coaches get a slice of that.
Not all of them get it.
I think it's just 4 or 5
Oh,
coaches that
four
get
or
it, right?
five of them get
And
it.
four of
Okay.
them qualify for the pension.
Okay.
There's only a few of them,
That's
and
right. I
I
forgot
know
that.
a lot
Yeah.
of guys. Some guys, if you had an extra two guys that didn't get that,
Yeah.
sometimes the coaches would pool their money and give them something,
Right.
which was really nice. But now you got 14 guys.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, that's sheesh. You got you
Ross
got
is
more staff.
invoking.
You
Ross
got
is
more
invoking
staff
the
than you got
Lord's name.
players.
Hey, we've been remiss at reminding you that we're brought to you by the Costas Inn. Can we get our thumbs up? Yeah. Four of those thumbs were at the Costas Inn in
That's right.
Timonium today for lunch, for an
I got
editorial
something to
meeting.
say after this. I got something I got to tell you
And
after
there was
this.
not a pork chop on that menu. There's not a pork chop on that
Give
menu.
me time to tell my story now when
Go
you're
ahead,
done.
let's go.
Okay.
It's a different restaurant, isn't it?
No, it wasn't. I told you what happened. I texted you. My buddy came down here. He was here for a week, and he says, "Boy, the best." Just out of the blue, said the
Right.
best pork chops we had were at Costa's in Timonium. I'm going. We had them in Timonium, right? He goes, "Yes." I go, Stan said they don't, but they're not on the menu. And
They're not.
I think it was a special. It had to be
Okay.
a special.
All
I
right.
mean, because
I've looked every time I've gone, I've looked on the
Stan, he
specials.
mentioned it out of
Okay.
nowhere.
Okay.
And I'm going, I'm not losing my mind. I did
Because
have
I
them there.
called the waitress over the other night, Ashley, because I went there
Yeah.
with my cousin Ron. And I said, do me a favor. I said, Ashley, how long have you been working here? She said, since we started in Timonium.
Right.
I said, do you serve pork chops? He goes, nope, never have. So anyway,
Hell, he
maybe.
was probably messed up to it. But we were eating somewhere we thought we were at Costa's.
All right. Anyway, we love the Costas Inn, whether they have the pork chops or not. There's always something easy to find on the menu. Today I found the turkey club. Luke, you had a hamburger.
Cheeseburger. Yep.
You gave it a shot.
I gave it a shot,
And
and we all survived. Everyone there.
all right. And Bill Ordine had the crab cake, the 5-ounce crab cake.
Which is always good.
He kind of loved that puppy. So there's always something there for you at the Costas Inn. And I just got to tell you, the lunchtime is not mob there, so it's really, and I'm not a way to say they're new to the area, and a lot of people don't think of it as a destination point. They're at the Timonium Fairground, right upstairs, the OTB. There's a big sign there on the wall where the racetrack is, up on the second floor. Try the Costas Inn Timonium for lunch. They're there from about 11:30 till I guess 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and then dinner picks up at the Costas Inn in Timonium. Try it for the first time. I can pretty much guarantee you'll love it, and we give it 4 thumbs up. All right, we are going to learn a lot more about Craig Albernaz at the press conference, which will be next Tuesday, Luke, at 11 o'clock down at the warehouse. But for now, we've got a World Series, and we're not exempt from talking about the World Series on this Zoom. We're tied at 1 apiece after a brilliant performance by Yamamoto, his second complete game in a row. I have a problem. I talked off the air with Ross, though. He doesn't have the same problem. I thought Dave Roberts made a mistake. They had a 4-run lead, which I'm feeling pretty confident. If I bring in Roshi Sasaki, I'm feeling pretty confident. I get his feet wet in the World Series. I also break about an 8 or 9 day respite from him pitching. Ross doesn't have a problem with that. Do you have a problem with it at all? or are you sticking with Yamamoto?
I'm sticking with Yamamoto. Roberts has had a lot of problems with that bullpen, and I just think that he was most comfortable staying with Yamamoto, number one, because the priority is to win that game. And I think anybody watching that game felt like the best option to get those final three outs was Yamamoto, right? We can agree on
Yeah.
that. I
Right.
mean, he was absolutely terrific, and I was texting Ross during the game. I said, "This guy has six pitches that he throws for strikes. He can throw any of them in any count. He's always ahead, so that encourages some early swings from hitters. That means he gets some weak contact, and that keeps his pitch count down." A-Rod was talking about this after the game, that he's about 1-1 to home plate with a runner on first, so nobody runs on him. I mean, if you were to create a pitcher from scratch, it would look a whole lot like Yamamoto, right?
Yeah, but
He,
my question isn't that Yamamoto would have screwed up in the ninth inning like he did in Baltimore when he had the no hitter and Roberts left him in and all that. He gave up the tying home run, and then Trinan came in. And I'm talking about tonight. If he needs Sasaki, is he capable of coming in and doing the job tonight?
I mean, I think you're always going to trust the stuff of Sasaki. I just think the first priority is winning the game. And if you go to anyone really in that Dodgers bullpen, there's a chance that it gets sideways
I'm
quickly.
only going with Sasaki. I'm not bringing anybody else in.
But he did that. Remember, he did that once in Milwaukee, and Sasaki like walked two guys,
Right,
and he
right.
had to bring in Trinan, and Trinan almost blew the game. I just think that your main focus there is winning the game, in my opinion.
Okay.
And that thought. Now, I'm not saying that it's a bad thought. That thought never occurred to me while I was watching the game.
Okay. It did me. It did me. Now, if it's 3-1, I might have stuck with Yamamoto. Even 4-1, 5-1. I gotta have confidence in
And really,
Sasaki.
that Toronto crowd is great. All it takes to get that crowd riled up is one base runner.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
You
yeah.
know.
By the way, Luke and I, Ross, we both came to the conclusion, like the first night of the World Series, that Bo Bichette would be an excellent addition. I don't know where exactly they'd play him, but the Bo Bichette would be a great Oriole. As to the type of player they need offensively, Jim Duquette and Mike Farron today have him pretty much locked up and going to the Phillies.
Oh yeah. Well, where's he
Yeah.
going to play? What
Second
position?
base. For the Phillies,
They
second
said they
base.
think third. They think third base.
Oh, I thought I was hearing second. Okay. And then they would trade Bohm for an arm or
Boom,
something.
they're talking about trading. So
Okay.
Oh, gee.
And then I think Stan's idea for the Orioles would be to bring in Bichette to play second base and then send Holiday to center.
yeah, that would be my
Holiday to
idea.
center, really?
Yeah.
I talked to Omar Moreno. Remember him, the GM of the
Yeah.
Mets? I talked to him the year we drafted, about 3 weeks after we drafted Holiday. I was at Oriole Park and I happened to be with him. And he said, I scouted Holiday because remember, he wasn't thought to be a 1-1 guy that year. He was thought to be around 10 or 12. And the Mets had the eighth or ninth pick. And he said, I scouted him extensively. And I said, good. I want to ask you something. I said, we got Jorge Mateo. This is before Gunnar Henderson. This is when Jorge Mateo was playing like a potential superstar. And I said, let me ask you a question. We got this guy, and this is before Westberg had really come into the thing. So it was good. My thinking was Gunnar at third, um, what's his name? Who am I? Number three. Who am I talking about? You're not even
Holiday?
listening to me.
You're
No,
talking
the
about
guy that I'm talking about was playing short. Mateo.
Mateo. Yeah.
Mateo's playing short. So I got Mateo at short, Henderson at third, Westberg at second. And I'm thinking Holiday center field. And I said, could he play center field? He said he could play anywhere on a diamond. He
Yeah.
said he would be.
Is he a better center fielder, you think, than Cowser?
I'm not saying he's better off the bat, but wouldn't you be a better team if you had Bichette, Westberg, Henderson, and
Oh,
you
well,
got
probably.
and then Holiday over Cowser. I mean, offensively,
But
I think Cowser is a bad spring training away from opening the season in the minors.
I don't know about that. I think he's I don't see that.
Okay.
but what about
You
Holiday's
start
knee?
you start talking about how to improve this team, and you're going to get sort of blocked everywhere by going, well, you can't get him because you got him. I'm talking about how do you make this team better,
Right.
and I think Westberg at second or Bichette at second and Holiday over Cowser. That's a better team than we got right
Well,
now.
who are they going
Yeah.
to have to trade to get Bichette?
Bichette's a free agent.
Free agent.
Oh, is
So
he?
they
Oh,
would
okay.
have to give up a draft pick because he'll get a
Oh,
qualifying
well,
offer.
that,
I'll give up
So
a draft pick for
sure.
95 RBIs, 27, 28 home runs.
close to the
He,
league in hits every year.
he
Yeah.
doesn't
Yeah.
steal bases anymore. He's gotten chunkier. Remember, he was a very athletic looking guy 4 or 5 years ago. He's gotten a little burly.
His
Beefy.
swing, I tell you what, it's kind of freaky how similar that swing is to his dad's.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Anyway, getting back to the World Series, we're into game 3 tonight. Starts in Los Angeles. The sun will be pretty much. You'll start to set like about
A
six
beautiful
o'clock out
sunset,
there.
Stan.
Yeah, beautiful sunset.
Right
But
through the smog.
you'll have the shadows on the mound, won't you, Ross, out there?
Yeah.
Uh,
That can favor the pitcher for
okay.
sure.
Tonight we got Glasnow against Scherzer. Who you liking in this matchup, Ross?
Scherzer, his last 11 starts, he's given up 2 or less runs against the Dodgers. So he pitches very well against them. He's 11 starts, a 146 ERA, 84 strikeouts, 25 walks, and 68 innings. So he's not the same guy as he was in the past, but hey, those are numbers that you can be kind of proud of. But
Yeah.
in Glass now, I like the Dodgers. Again.
Yeah. I think they'll get 5 decent innings out of Scherzer.
Yeah.
But when I say decent, I could see him letting up 3 runs tonight. It's not the key is it's not the
Yeah.
same Max Scherzer.
No, that's true. 2 or 3 probably, and Glasnow's been throwing really well. And look to him get 6 or 7. Then it's
You
kind
know,
of
I,
scary with their bullpen.
I was fascinated by the fact that Bichette Luke didn't play in game 2. I mean, pinch hit late in the game, but the manager said, "Well, he's been out a while, and I didn't want to kill him." Really?
It's the World Series.
The
Is he
World
playing?
Series and it's 2 games in a row.
Is he
Not
playing
like
tonight?
I
I
think
don't
he'll
know.
be in
I
the
haven't
lineup.
seen a lineup yet.
I
I
But
think
what
he'll
you
be
know
in
what
the
that
lineup.
tells me, Stan? That he shouldn't really be back yet.
Yeah.
And if this were a normal situation, he might be out for another month.
Right.
That's what that tells me.
Okay. It'll be interesting to see if he's in tonight. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
What do you make of Glasnow stuff, Ross? You like it?
Yes, I always liked him. Always he got a power fastball, really nasty breaking ball when it's on. But he's when he's around the plate and locates obviously like everybody, but he's got overpowering stuff. And can really be tough on guys. And I think the last game he threw, I believe he threw pretty well, if I'm not mistaken. But
That was
always impressed with his stuff.
that was
Always.
some trade that the Rays pilfered the Pirates. They sent Chris Archer and they
Mhm.
got Shane Baz, Tyler Glasnow, and Austin Meadows, who, for other reasons, had some problems down the road, some emotional problems. I won't call it a nervous breakdown, but he had great anxiety, and he never really became
Yeah.
what he was going to become. He ended up with the Tigers. He may try to come back because he's probably only 31 years old, but interesting. Um, Glasnow has battled injuries, but that's one of the things that impresses me, Luke, so much about this Dodgers starting staff is all of them are fresh right now.
Yeah. Yeah. And really everyone in that bullpen is pretty fresh. having not thrown in game 2. You got an off day.
I think they kind of like it that way.
Yeah.
They don't want too many of their guys.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. I think a perfect day for Dave Roberts is not having to go to that bullpen phone.
Yeah.
It's just weird how it flipped from one year to the next. Last year, they couldn't wait to get to their bullpen.
Yep.
Now they're hoping that they never have to go to the phone.
Yeah.
So,
well, now they've got so much money locked into that starting rotation.
and they're all healthy
Yamamoto.
and performing.
Yeah.
Yamamoto, if you catch him on the right day, he'll look like the best pitcher in the world.
Any shot we see, Ross, any shot we see the true old left-hander in this World Series, guy named Kershaw.
I wouldn't doubt it at some point in time, depending on
the Dodgers
the
are down 8-1.
It depends. It depends. But I think we'll see him at some point in time. But
the last time that Kershaw threw was that game against the Phillies where
terrible.
He couldn't get out of the inning. He couldn't get 3 outs, and it was tough to watch. And I hope for his sake before he retires at the end of the World Series that he's got a chance to redeem himself. So that isn't his final.
I don't think he gets in a game unless it's in the extra innings and they need a guy. It's like 12 innings and they need a guy.
What a story that would be.
Well, Jim Palmer's last win was in the '83 World Series in relief. He relieved Flanagan in game. I think it was game 3. But it's funny what happened to Kershaw. In my estimation, they crossed their fingers when he came back from the toe injury, and all of a sudden, 3 or 4 starts into his season, and he didn't start his season until like around July 1st, Luke, something like that. But he pitched about 6 or 7 really good starts, and then they were getting their guys back, and it was clear that he was being kind of tossed to the side, and he didn't pitch, and he got totally out of rhythm, and that's when he came in relief in that Phillies game, and it was really awful. So I would love to see Kershaw go out with one last special moment. I don't think it happens because I think their pitching is too strong. We'll see how it plays out.
Depends on the score.
Yeah. So is Bieber going against Ohtani tomorrow night, Luke?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, the last time Ohtani pitched, he struck out 10, hit 3 home runs. That's what in these parts we call the Ross Grimsley. So,
but giving up 3 home runs?
Oh, okay. That's what it was. Okay. All right. I get it now.
And I've done that.
I thought I was reading about that. I said the Ross Grimsley. Oh, that's okay.
How would you pitch Grimsley?
How would you pitch Ohtani?
He would get nothing but crap away. and crap away and up and in. He wouldn't get nothing over the plate or down. He wouldn't get nothing down and in. Because he hits that too far.
All right.
He'll hit it out of the stadium.
We got his prediction. I'm predicting Dodgers tonight in game 3. You predicting Dodgers in game 3?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, aren't you Luke Jackson?
Oh, I thought you were talking to Ross. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm going Jays.
Going Jays tonight.
Max Scherzer turns back.
You get a masterpiece out of Scherzer.
Yeah. So, and he gets him at least into the middle of the game. I know John Schneider doesn't love his bullpen, but he gets him into the middle of the game. We get a good performance out of Scherzer.
I got one lineup question for you.
Go ahead.
If Bichette were playing, and I don't know if he's playing tonight, can you look up MLB lineups and see if the lineup's out? But let me ask you a question. You've got Scherzer batting. Bichette. You got Bichette batting 4th behind Guerrero. Kirk batting 5th. Batting 2nd is Davis Schneider after George Springer. Why are you not? I guess because you're going to pinch hit Barger with Barger or Luke's.
The lineup just came out for Toronto.
Yeah.
So Springer is leading off in DH and Luke's in left field. Lucas. Guerrero at first, Bichette playing second and cleaning up, and then Varsho in center, Kirk catching, Barger in right, Clement at third, and Jimenez at short.
Okay. So my question really was, and I don't know if you were paying attention while you were looking at the
Right.
lineup, why would you bat Davis Schneider second and have Clement batting seventh? Wouldn't you want to have Springer, then even Guerrero second, Bichette third, Kirk fourth,
Well,
Varsho fifth?
the one thing I will say about lineup construction is that you can have all the ideas in the world, and they could be great ideas. But if Vladdy wants to hit third, Vladdy's going to hit third.
You really think?
Yeah.
I mean, and like that's
So change it. Say it's Bichette second.
okay.
Why do you want Davis Schneider batting second?
What you mean, Lucas?
No, Davis Schneider was batting second in the game two.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
That was my question. Okay. All right. All right, that's going to do it for this show, this edition. We've got one more to go next Monday. We'll recap the World Series, and we'll be on the eve of the press conference where the Orioles formally introduce Mr. Albernaz as the manager of the team. Luke, one last thing about that. This speaks of Elias being, you and I were talking about this, very confident in his position as being in charge, this kind of hire. He didn't
Yeah, I would
feel
think so.
like he needed the guy with the cachet.
It's business as usual at the warehouse, I would say.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Ross, anything else you want to add?
No, we got it.
We
Go
got it.
Dodgers.
All right. Six thumbs up for the Costas in, Lucas Jackson.
Oh, sorry.
All right.
Get your pork chops up here.
Yeah, get your pork chops up there. All right. We're brought to you each and every time by the Costas Inn. Stop by either North Point Boulevard or call them for your steamed crabs reservation, 410-477-1975, or stop by for lunch or dinner at the new Costas Inn above the grandstand at Timonium Fairgrounds at the racetrack, right next to the OTB. Open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week. That's going to do it for today. Enjoy the baseball game tonight. Bye.